In today's live stream video, I'm going to discuss news and current events that affect us as resellers. Then Randy and I will discuss ways to improve your eBay store and sales. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream about reselling, and I usually interview another reseller and I have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you are in the right place. It's going to pop in the chat for a little bit, guys, and say hello to a few people, and then we shall get started very shortly. I'm assuming the notifications went out. I don't like to keep the people waiting that are watching the replay. Lisa C., I always appreciate being here. Good evening. Good evening. Just a little aside here before I hello to you, and happy St. Patrick's Day, because I forget to mention it later. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Unfortunately, I didn't have any green on. I was going to go to $1.25 tree, and I never made it out today, so I don't have any green on. But anyway, to the people watching the replay and Lisa and whoever else might pop in the chat, happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just going to pop in, and Randy, I'll bring in Randy very shortly, but I have a few articles affecting us and some changes they made, or going to be making, I should say, on eBay. A little touch on a Poshmark a little bit, and our favorite topic, the United States Postal Service. So again, I'm just going to go over those. I'll bring Randy in shortly after I open up, and then we should get started. So in fact, you know what? Let me just bring Randy in, guys, because the chat is a little slow filling in. So let me just bring Randy in and have him introduce himself to people that don't know who he is. Randy, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Randy. I live in Allentown, and tonight's going to be the Adam and Eve show. Yep, Adam and Wednesday Eve.
Okay. Like I said, guys, the chat will be filling in shortly. I'll just go over those few news things, and the chat will fill in, and then we'll have Randy here, and then we'll, like I said, discuss kind of ways that you can improve your eBay store and ultimately your eBay sales. So let me get started with my little presentation here. So Randy, I'm going to actually, I can leave you up there. Both you can smile for the people watching the replay or whatever. Okay, guys. The first article was eBay Digital Wallet. Okay, what's in it for sellers? Sellers will be able to pay for selling expenses using eBay's digital wallet that was announced at Investor Day. eBay is giving sellers more options in how they receive payouts, promising faster payout options and new payout providers. eBay's Chief Growth Officer, Julie Loger, gave a presentation on payments to investors and Wall Street analysts during the March 10th virtual event. Some of the features she announced had been available to sellers through PayPal prior to eBay taking over payment management. Sellers should study the new options with an open mind and evaluate how they impact them individually. Loger told analysts that with the eBay digital wallet, earnings will be available almost immediately. With the eBay digital wallet, sellers will be able to use proceeds from their sales to fund eBay purchases. Sellers will also be able to use sale proceeds stored in the wallet to pay for selling expenses. Those are key features, though it's unclear if sellers will have access to the wallet on desktops or if it will be only available on mobile devices. While some sellers will likely welcome the ability to make purchases from their sales proceeds, others rely on cashback rewards offered by credit cards. It doesn't appear the wallet will help those sellers. Sellers may not have to wait long for the wallet to see if the promised benefits eBay is rolling out, Longer said. This month, we are offering on-demand or scheduled payments, including options for monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, or daily. Later this year, she said sellers in a rush will have the option to send available funds directly to their debit card within 30 minutes for a fee. Note the operative word, available funds. When will eBay wallet launch? In a post for sellers, eBay said it would launch next quarter. So that could be April, May, or June. So anyway, guys, we had PayPal before. And again, the article referred to buyers that use the rewards credit card. So I tell you guys in the past that I have my PayPal account tied to one of my rewards credit cards. So with eBay, I'm paying through I guess I'll be paying through digital wallet, but I pay through, eBay payment processing. But when I use Pirate Ship, I have that tied to my PayPal, and then I pay through my credit card. So I get a little bit back every little bit helps. So it is what it is. So let me pop into the other article, guys, and we'll keep on going here. And I'm very sure we'll start talking about how to improve your eBay sales. Do eBay sellers feel insulted by its CEO's remarks? This is a story I covered several weeks ago, guys. I just want to refresh. There's some comments about it online. At least one seller is concerned about the way eBay CEO Jamie Ione characterized buyers they call the lifeblood of the marketplace. In a thread about what eBay was doing to stem the decline of buyers and sellers and sales, the seller said they believed the CEO's remarks about low-value buyers were insulting. It doesn't help that current management has openly disparaged most of the sellers and buyers here, saying they are low value. Most of eBay sales are on items $100 or less, and about half are under $30 to $35. These people are the lifeblood of eBay, and they get insulted by the CEO as being not the kind of buyers and sellers they want on the site. And as the CEO sets the tone for the entire management team at the top, that's their current tone-deaf mindset. What happens in Vegas may stay in Vegas, but apparently that isn't true of eBay's messaging to Wall Street, and word seems to be getting out about eBay's attitude toward half of its buyers. During eBay's Q2 earnings call with analysts on August 11th, the company's chief financial officer, Steve Priest, explained that low-value buyers represent 50% of eBay buyers, but only account for about 5% of GMV, Ione added. I've got the whole organization pivoted to focusing on those high-value buyers that are spending over $800, buying 6 times a year, or buyers who sell. I only reported on the overall decline of buyers in the fourth quarter during a February 23rd, 2022 call with analysts, again attributing it to a strategy of focusing on high-value instead of low-value buyers. The strategy is working as eBay continues to lose buyers. In the second quarter of 2021, active buyers declined by 2% year over year. And in the fourth quarter, active buyers declined 9%. But rather than fewer buyers leading to great sales, as Ione counterintuitively suggests, gross merchandise volume GMV was down in the fourth quarter to $20.7 billion, or down 10% on an as-reported basis and 11% on an FX-neutral basis. I haven't had accounting for a long time, so I'm not all that familiar with those terms, but I just thought I would bring your attention. In some respects, it feels as though the current CEO is channeling former CEO John Donahoe, who eschewed the flea market vibe of the marketplace when he took over from Meg Whitman in the mid-2000s. But in 2022, can eBay afford to turn away buyers and turn its nose up at low-value transactions? Well, guys, you know, when I brought that up in the show, the previous show when I did it with the news, I did bring that up, and I felt kind of insulted. And as we all know, that allegedly eBay treats buyers a lot better than sellers. But again, there are a lot of smaller sellers on eBay's platform. So I mean, I don't know why he disparages. I mean, I guess he was talking to the investors and talking to the Wall Street analysts. But again, in this day and age of social media, obviously he had to know that this was going to get out to the buyers and sellers on eBay. So anyway, I wasn't a fan of what he had said, but the old saying goes, "It is what it is." So, Randy, what's your opinion on that? Kind of like, did you feel that the same vibe I got? Kind of, was kind of like disparaging smaller sellers and buyers.
Yeah, I think to cut out your quantity buyers as opposed to necessarily your high dollar buyers is really short-sighted.
Yeah, I noticed they've been advertising like eBay or automotives, or I guess it's called Motors now. They were advertising that quite a bit. They weren't really advertising like regular eBay site, but I was hearing around the holidays. I was hearing Mercari ads. I was hearing Poshmark ads, but the only eBay ads I was hearing was for eBay Motors. So I guess again, gearing up towards those higher end buyers.
I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you this: that a lot of the stores, like the dollar stores, are really some of the most profitable stores in the industry across all of retail. So to say that, the low buyers don't count, and I don't know if that's really what they're saying. I think it's short-sighted. Uh, the statement goes, without vision, the people perish, and the question is eBay losing its vision? That's one thing I think we all have to be concerned with.
Yeah, and again, they brought in the new CEO. He's from Walmart. Again, you and Mike are very happy with what Walmart's doing, but again, this CEO came over from Walmart to run eBay. So I think they're a little short-sighted. I mean, granted, I mean, we talk about, as sellers, increasing our gross sales volume, increasing our average sale price, ASP. Again, is it worth it? We always talk about the value of your time. Is it worth selling something and making $3, $4, $5? I wish you'd rather sell something for $30, $40, $50 and make $15 to $20 as opposed to making $3, $4, $6. I had something I can't reach out here. I'll screw it up. But
Of
anyway,
course, I'd rather sell something than nothing.
that too, and sometimes the smaller volume items kind of trigger that eBay algorithm, Cassini, if you're getting kind of volume sales. You and I were talking about the remotes, and I'm having trouble getting the traction on them. But I guess if you sell them on a regular basis, if you're selling a handful every day, which I believe you do, I guess it kind of helps trigger the eBay algorithm because you're consistently selling those things.
Yeah, I try to get rid of things that are dead items. 20% of my items are dead. 20% of everybody's items are dead.
True.
Get rid of them so they don't drag down your other items.
That's true.
Even if you gotta sell them at a loss, you're better to sell them at a loss and get rid of them so you can invest that money in something that works. And what works for you may not work for somebody else,
Right.
and what doesn't work for them may work for you.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I won't tell you the two. Well, I will tell you the one site. Walmart, if you sell something under $10 as a seller, your fees are half. In other words, it's 8% instead of 15%.
Right.
Okay. So you can afford to sell something for under $10 and still make a decent living. In fact, I had one item on another site that I switched over to Walmart, all of them, when I did a test and found out that I sold more in 4 hours on Walmart.com than I did in a whole year on another site. And I sold them for half the fees and added $2 to the cost. So it was a windfall for me. The only thing is that was an item that I felt
You had
was
$2 to the
slow.
selling price or $2 to the cost?
No, I added $2 to the selling price.
Right. Okay.
And
then you pay less fees too.
And I paid half the fees. They were a light item. They were fairly inexpensive for me to buy, and because they were slow sellers, I lost my contact where I used to get them.
Okay.
Because I used to be able to buy 1,000 at a time.
Okay.
And because they were slow, I really didn't care about them. But by switching them over to another site where, they sold better for less money, or for more money and less cost,
right.
It was a windfall for me. And I may be able to get that contact back again. I really don't know.
Right.
But I mean, there's a site that's really helping that lower sale. And really, let's face it, the success of Walmart as a brick and mortar retailer had to do with cost to the customer. They could get it to the customer cheaper. And therefore, they outpaced. And where's Kmart today? Kmart wanted to go more upscale.
Well, all these brick and mortar retailers, the larger ones, are kind of reformulating things, and we know Penny's had issues, and Sears went out of business, or at least have very few stores left. And then Kmart went out of business. Macy's is closing stores left and right. I read where Kohl's is, it's not really online related, e-commerce related, but Kohl's is making changes as well to how they do business. I think they're adding, I think it was Sephora, if my memory serves me, they're adding little Sephora, kiosk or whatever in the stores. So again, they're getting hurt too.
Victoria's Secret wanted to keep out some of their potential clientele, and they basically took a hit as well.
Right.
Not everybody wants to be a size 0.
Anyway, just going to say hello to Tommy Bernard. Thanks for posting, Tommy. Appreciate your input. Bobby's in the chat, and as well as Mike Flipping Goodies is in the chat. So anyway, so let's get on to the next article. Like I said, there are just a few things, and we're going to get into how to kind of grow your eBay business through improving your store. I actually thought about this when I read this, and I thought about Randy, how we talked multiple times on this channel about the United States Postal Service. So anyway, USPS boasted best mail performance ever, allegedly. The USPS reported its best delivery performance for first class mail for the week of February 26th to March 4th in a press release on Wednesday. It heralded weekly last mile delivery scores best recorded in Postal Service history. That only includes mail pieces, letters, and packages sent via first class mail, meaning it excludes packages sent priority mail, etc. But if you read further, you'll see the Postal Service reported for the first 2 months of the year, January 1st through March 4th, the percentage of first class mail delivered on time decreased 2.3 percentage points to 86.9%. And that's after it lowered the bar for what was considered on time delivery on October 1st, 2021. It's USPS said most first class mail, 61%, and periodicals, 93%, will be unaffected by the new service standard changes. Standards for single piece first class mail traveling within a local area will continue to be 2 days. The Postal Service will increase time and transit standards by 1 or 2 days for certain mail that is traveling longer distance. By doing so, the Postal Service can entrust its ground network to deliver more first class mail, which will lead to greater consistency, reliability, and efficiency that benefits its customer. However, the Postal Service did note that in March 11th press release that, consistent with the rest of the shipping industry, USPS experienced delays of both ground and air transportation during the month of February due to clement weather events, including winter storms in the Midwest, South, Northeast region. All that said, we want online sellers to provide a reality check. How fast are you seeing your first class mail packages delivered? And while you're at it, what about packages sent via USPS priority mail? The other part of the equation is buyer expectations, and that's where delivery estimates come into play. How is it that delivery performance for your packages sent via USPS? Are they getting to their destinations on time? Specifically, which service you use? Is first-class mail performing differently than competitive service for USPS offers? And how accurate are USPS delivery estimates provided to buyers and sellers on the marketplace on eBay and Etsy? Your opinion, sir, on what's going on lately with the USPS and
Yeah,
the on-time delivery?
I call it all bullshit.
Bullshit. Thank you for keeping that.
That's correct.
G-rated.
We're going to keep this G-rated.
Thank you, sir.
Around here, they're testing same-day delivery. They can't deliver a mile away in 3 days or 5 days or sometimes even 3 weeks.
Right.
And they're going to try to tell us that they're going to do same-day delivery. There's no way.
No.
And to say that you're doing really good on the slowest weeks of the year, it's before tax time. Nobody's sending, they're not sending out tax returns.
Oh, yeah. What about now? It'd probably be nuts. Everybody's sending out their tax returns, right? So that's a reminder. I was just talking to a friend of mine on the phone a little while ago. It's like, remember, guys, you have less than, it depends on your business file, or you might have a different tax deadline. But for the personal tax returns, you have less than a month to get your tax return in on time, unless you file for an extension. And I'm not a CPA. I just play one on YouTube. Just kidding. I'm not giving tax advice. Just reminding you that you have less than a month to file. April 15th.
Mine is in March 15th for some reason.
Okay.
I have no clue why, but I left that up to my accountant.
It is what it is, right?
Only problem is he's Russian.
Uh-oh. we won't go there. We won't talk about Russian.
I hope they don't,
they might ban this stream, right? Yep.
I mean, I use a fairly, actually, I use what's considered the best accounting firm in the country.
Okay.
Which is Deloitte and Touche.
Yes. I remember when I was studying at college at Rutgers, and I was a minor in accounting, and that was one of the what did they call them back then? How many were there? The Big Five or whatever. I don't even remember what they called them back then.
Yeah, I think it was the Big Five, the Big Four, or something.
Big Four, right. And they were one of them. Yep, absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm just checking. I have, let's see, one more news item, and I'm going to pop in and talk about eBay's new listing tool. This is just an aside, guys. There were some of the videos, again, I subscribe to other YouTube channels, and I tell you, I try to keep track of the various reseller Facebook groups. I don't really get caught up in all the drama, and obviously when you're spending time on social media, you're not really spending time being productive. So anyway, give a shout out to Ed Resell Rider. He had brought this to my attention, and I also read this in this reselling blog I read. Poshmark runs a free shipping promotion. Poshmark ran a promotion this week offering limited flash sales on shipping costs. On Poshmark, buyers pay for shipping, a flat rate of $7.67. In an email to users, Poshmark said it would be running 1 hour flash sales, offering free shipping. Presumably, it's funding that promotion, not sellers. According to the email, something big is coming this week. Get ready for 1 hour of flash-free shipping. Throughout the week, we'll be offering site-wide free shipping for 1 hour only. We'll notify you via push notification a few hours before it starts so you can get all of your likes and favorite items ready to go. Be sure to have push notifications turned on so you don't miss out on this limited time offer. Download the mobile app, head to the account tab, notifications, and toggle on daily tips and deals. Opt in now. P.S. Don't have the app? Be sure to download from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. As the email indicates, shoppers will have to have a Poshmark mobile app installed with push notifications turned on in order to get notified of the flash sales. As an update to this promotion, it was run yesterday, March 15th, for 1 hour from 12 noon Pacific time, and was limited to the first 10,000 transactions over $10, and offers sent by buyers and sellers were excluded. So you can keep that in mind should Poshmark run this promotion again. So again, guys, some people, sell on Poshmark. Some of my clothing sellers that are members of the live stream that watch the live stream. So again, I guess it was a good promotion. Again, it was limited to the 10,000 transactions, and I was listening to Ed's video and watching Ed's video, and he says, "Well, I don't even know how many items that Poshmark sells per day. I mean, do they do 10,000 a day?" And apparently, it had ended within 30 minutes of running this promotion. So it didn't even make it an hour, and they allegedly had already sold 10,000 items. So they had cut it off about 30 minutes into the promo. Some sellers or buyers were getting cut off because they had already met their allocation of 10,000 sales. So anyway, I think it's a little unique, something a little different. I mean, God forbid eBay would ever offer something like that. What do you think, Randy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay. All right, guys, I'm just going to pop in a little bit and just kind of give you guys a heads up about this with the new eBay listing tool. And again, they're rolling out on a beta test, I guess, basis. So I'm just going to bring that up and show you guys, and we'll discuss it a little bit, and then we'll get into, as I like to say, since Rachel is not here and she's a vegan, I can talk about the meat and potatoes. So I'm just going to bring this up, and we'll share the screen for you guys here and talk about the new eBay listing tool. Okay. Find the right one here. There it is. Okay. I'm going to make this full screen so you guys can follow along with me and read a little bit better. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Using the new listing tool. And this is on eBay's page. So guys, if you're interested, you can check this out on eBay's homepage. So we're currently rolling out a new listing tool which offers sellers a clean design and improved listing features. The new tool provides a unified listing experience across the desktop and mobile web browser so sellers can efficiently list at home or on the go. The new listing tool is being introduced in a number of stages. Okay, they're doing like a soft rollout, which I think is a good idea with eBay. Business sellers are being opted in on to the new listing tool first, but eventually all eBay sellers will have access. Initially, sellers will be opted into the new listing tool with an option to revert back. Okay, they've done this in the past where they let you revert back. Shortly after the option to revert back will be removed, and the new listing tool will become the default listing tool for all sellers on eBay. We encourage all sellers to get used to the new listing tool and avail of its streamlined features. The new listing tool is not currently available in the app. Using a new tool was easy. From the listing summary page, you'll see listing options such as condition, photos, videos, and delivery. To edit any of these, simply select Edit All options on the right-hand side and make your changes. You can also select the option directly to edit it. The new and enhanced features. The new listing tool combines the advanced features of the business tool with a streamlined interface of quick listing tool. Here are some of the new and enhanced features. Videos. You can now add videos to your listings free of charge to showcase your items in more detail, highlight unique features, or even answer frequently asked questions. Photos. You can also use drag and drop to add photos from your devices and use all photo formats from Apple devices. Then edit them in our photo editor using our new background removal tool to get cleaner images. Delivery. We simplify the shipping workflow so you can easily set your shipping options. Using the new listing tool. The new listing tool is divided into a number of enhanced listing sections, most of which you'll be familiar with from previous listing tools. Here's a selection of your listing options, item specifics, title, variations, condition, photos and video, categories, description, pricing, quantity, delivery, preferences, sell it faster, and preview. The tip says here, if you provided sufficient information in the listing section, you'll see a green check mark above it. You see a blue I symbol above the section. It means that the section requires more information before you can list. Eventually, the business and quick listing tools will be completely replaced by the new listing tool. Meantime, if you prefer to switch back to the tool you're using previously, you select Switch to Classic View from the top of your page. According to eBay, the top takeaway, business sellers are being opted in to the new listing tool first, but eventually all eBay sellers will have access. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. You know, again, we talk about eBay and GlitchBay and the issues. So I'm kind of happy, at least in my mind, they're doing like a soft rollout. So hopefully that won't be an issue. I'm trying to remember what they did. I guess it was a year or two ago. They rolled something out, and maybe it was the item specifics, and you could revert back to the classic view, and then like they're saying with this, eventually everyone's going to have to use this new listing tool. So I'm interested in how it's going to work out. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. So I'm curious, like you and I, Randy, have discussed how slow things have been on not just in sales, but in general on the site. That the site is dragging down.
Yeah, it's a little sluggish.
Apparently more than a little sluggish. Very sluggish.
I'm being kind.
You're being kind. All right, let me just refresh. Got a little dry here though. Appreciate you guys being here. If you have any input on any of these things,
yeah, I can't see the chat, so
okay. I'm watching. There's not a lot of comments going on, so
just I don't want anybody to think I'm ignoring.
No, Randy's not ignoring. If anyone has a specific question for you, I'll make sure I bring it up to you. So, but yeah, guys. So I'm kind of happy they're kind of doing a soft rollout on this, and we'll have to see what happens, and hopefully it'll be good. You know, all of us, not all of us, but quite a few of us have said over the years that eBay really needs to update their website and update their app and improve their efficiency and get rid of these glitches. And ever since it seems like they went to the item specifics, things that really got bogged down and caused a lot of issues. So hopefully in the future, this new listing tool will be something that we can take advantage of. All right, sir. Let me kind of pull this up, and you and I wanted to talk about how to improve your sales on. We're going to talk specifically about eBay, but it would apply, I'm assuming, to most e-commerce.
It honestly applies to every site that
right.
you can sell on, because some of these tools are just plain out and out common sense, and some are how things work.
Right. Mike says he does. Right. Of course, Mike uses right. He doesn't list directly on eBay. Right.
Right.
He uses the Shopify, and then you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, for the cost of Shopify, it's foolish not to really use it.
If you're doing any kind of volume, and Mike's a big proponent of, and I agree, if you're doing any kind of volume, it probably does pay you to use Shopify. Absolutely.
You know, I went through my one category of remotes, and I actually searched out every single remote, and I found there were well over 100 remotes that were not showing up.
They were
Now,
dropped off.
yeah, not all of them dropped off. Some of them some of it was my fault because I
Right.
had miscategorized them. So I had to go back into that strange category and basically change all of them over to where they should have been in the store. Because let's face it, you don't look for eggs in the spaghetti department at the
You know,
supermarket.
well, I had trouble finding bacon the other day. They ran a sale at the supermarket. I couldn't figure out where it was, and this elderly lady was looking for it too. And she asked the retail clerk. She says, "Where's the bacon?" He says, "It's in the dairy department." I'm thinking, wait a minute, bacon's in the dairy department? Okay. But anyway, so hopefully you
Yeah.
guys, again, for the new people in the chat, happy St. Patrick's Day. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. So I'm not wearing any green. I was going to stop at $1.25 tree, and I didn't make it today, so I didn't have any green to wear. So
No, but we're going to talk about how to make green.
but that's a great segue, Randy. Perfect. So, all right, guys, bear with me. Randy and I were kind of playing with this a little bit earlier today, and we're going to hopefully you can share the screen. Did you want to just set this up a little bit, or you want me to do the pictures? How do you want to start?
You know what? Let's start
This
with
is your show right now.
You show the pictures, and
Okay.
well, let me start out with the fact that
Yeah, start out.
I see everybody saying, well, you could take quick pictures, and it'll take you like 14 seconds, and that's all nonsense. If you're a photographer and a good photographer, and you're going to take wedding photos, maybe to show the client 50 photos, you're going to take 300 or 400 photographs. They're not going to see half of them. And as we bring these pictures up, I'll show you why. Earlier today, I did a photo shoot on a product called soy lecithin. That's hard to say, but nonetheless. And I'll bring it up because I doubt that anybody in the chat today sells soy lecithin.
No,
I can
we don't.
barely pronounce it, and I sell it. Okay, so if you want to bring up the first photo.
Okay, let me just mention this too. I guess I did the slide presentation, but I'm just going to read off the slide presentation. Again, this is from Walmart, and they're saying image guidelines. High quality imagery increases the likelihood of conversion and decreases the likelihood of negative reviews or returns. Most high quality images can help SEO rankings and drive additional visitation to your product pages. Images were not shared into the correct specification will appear distorted and will not be published on the site. Okay, or be removed. Okay, that's with Walmart site. But again, we're kind of talking a little bit about Walmart. Let me do a screen share here, guys, and we'll be able to see what Randy's talking about. Okay. All right. Now, where was this?
Well, Adam looks for that. I'll tell you. Generally, I look to do 6 photographs. That's what Walmart really wants you to do. That's eBay gives you 12 slots, but really 6 is kind of what Google also wants you to do. This is shot number 1. Okay.
Let me take off the pro tip on here.
It's fairly clear. It shows a decent resolution. It's actually shot at 2,000 pixels. Okay. I do all my my photographs square. I want them to be the same in terms of when they show up. So none are like smaller or larger. They're all fairly uniform. Okay, next one.
Okay, well, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Okay.
All right. Now this is a bad one.
Right.
Okay, it's out of focus. It has a tail in the back, so it looks like it could be a high-tech mouse.
Okay.
All right. It has the Photo Room logo on the bottom, and I recommend Photo Room. I think it's a great app. It's not 100% because depending on how you take the photograph and what the background is, I took a picture of one of my family, and all that came out after it wiped everything off was a floating head. So,
well, yeah, the free version, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. So, I didn't get to use it. See, this is a photograph that I would not have used. I would have basically thrown this one in the garbage.
Right. So
Okay,
again,
next
you were
one.
saying how many pictures do you take, and you
I,
described
I generally take 10 or 12,
10 or 12
knowing
pictures
that
per item.
I really only want 6.
Right.
Okay, but let's face it, you've taken photographs throughout your whole life. Okay, before regular phone cameras,
Mm-hmm.
when they had those little Instamatic
Yep.
cameras,
Yep. Yep.
and
Yep.
you came out, the family's there, and one of the people has, their hand over their head with a horn symbol, and somebody else
Yeah.
has
Right.
their eyes closed, and, granny's drooling.
Yep. I hear you.
So, those are photographs you don't want to keep.
Right.
Well, here you're trying to sell something,
Right.
and you're trying to make it appetizing. You don't want a tail that's out of focus.
And you out of focus picture of the product too. Okay. Next
Right.
picture.
Next picture, there's a fairly decent picture. The lighting's pretty good. Again, it's square. It's 2000 by 2000 pixels, 300 DPI, and it has a complete white background. Next picture. I just want to go through these pretty quick, or it's going to get boring.
Right.
Okay, that's basically the same picture that would have been the lead picture, except for it had a black background. And that's
Okay.
the
So you're
only
trying to see
difference.
what the difference is. Okay.
Yeah, if I have a light item, I like to do
Yeah, it
at
seems
least,
like it pops a little better. Yeah.
yeah, I like to do at least one dark background. Never the first item, because Google will not pick it up.
Right. Right. So that's a good tip. Right. So you want to have a white background because that helps with Google with the SEO.
Right.
Okay.
That's one thing that they really frown upon.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, is there another picture? I believe. Right.
Yep, there's 10 of them
Okay.
together. Okay, that's the same photo, exact same photo, just the white background.
Okay.
And that's really the one that Google wants.
Okay.
All right. Now, this isn't a bad photo. This is one of those photos that the image is pretty sharp. Okay. It covers 85% of the the space, and I call this my photo that's like, well, if I have 5 that are good and 5 that are bad, or in between, this one's going to make it.
Yeah, my only issue, and again, because I guess because I take photos and because I do YouTube, I can see the ring light in the bottom of the container.
Yeah,
The little circle.
I actually don't use a ring light, but
What is that? What is that white little circle down the bottom there?
that's just a regular fluorescent light.
Oh, okay, fluorescent light. Okay, kind of fading
Yeah.
through. Okay, cool. And you can't really edit that out. So I guess
Actually, you can.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
And it'll show the glass as opposed to okay.
Right.
Okay. Ooh, that's a real bad one.
Now that's an extremely bad one.
Right. Right.
Okay. Done at the same time with the same camera.
Right.
It's actually a picture that's moving. It's out of focus.
Right.
I don't know if I sneezed when I took it or what, but that one definitely goes in the garbage.
Okay.
I've seen photos like
oh
that.
Yeah, you'll see that at some eBay stores. Yep. Yeah, they throw it like on the countertop with the dirty dishes behind it in the kitchen, right? I hear you.
Okay, this is another photo that's fairly decent. If I had more time, I probably would have filled up the container a little bit more.
Right. Now, what about the angle? Didn't you tell me something about the angles in pictures? They
Yeah.
prefer angles.
If you're gonna have angles, you want to angle it toward. Right. You don't want the first picture to be an angle, but you do want some angled shots. And if you're gonna angle it, you want to angle it toward the actual listing and not away from it, so that it draws your eye into the whole listing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. This one is really kind of falling toward you.
Right.
So it's personal.
Okay, so that's actually a tip to have it kind of like leaning towards you.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's been studies that shown that helps with sales.
Just like a lot of times you see people who are selling the liquids, that the liquid is pouring out of the container.
Okay, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay, this is again the same shot, only with a dark background.
Okay.
I mean, it's the exact same shot.
Right.
And that's the one thing you can do with Photoshop, with Photo Room, rather. You
Right.
can have different kinds of backgrounds. Now, there's a few tips that go along with this. Okay, search engines really can't pick up photographs that well. But what they can pick up is when you save the photograph, save it with the SKU if it's a new item and it has a SKU, the UPC code,
Okay.
rather. Okay, and that will double your chances of it being picked up in search and probably give you about a 30% better chance of selling the item.
Okay. Could you repeat that again? I was thinking about you were saying it didn't register. Something about this. Go ahead. Repeat it about the SKU.
Yeah, when you save your item, after you take your pictures, you're going
Right.
to want to save the item and have a number behind there. In
Correct.
other words, whatever.
To
All
identify it
right,
again when you're looking for it. When you're right.
right. If you have an item that's new and
Hmm.
it has a UPC code,
Okay.
enter those digits into the file. In other words, save it as
The picture file.
uh, the picture file.
So like less than 10, and then the UPC code after it.
Right, and search engines can pick it up a lot easier, and it will show up better in search for you.
Oh, okay. So even though it doesn't show the picture, it doesn't show on the picture that the Google or search engine will pick that UPC code up.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't aware
I'm
of that.
I'm fairly sure that eBay works the same way. I know that Walmart works the same
Okay.
way. Okay, so
So
if
if I'm uploading something, I don't want to knock stuff over, but Lisa or Lisa, our favorite thing is kind of dinged up a little bit, but Walmart bread bags. If I were selling Walmart bread bags, which I wouldn't be, but I would include the UPC code after the item, say like Walmart bread bags, and then put the UPC code when I saved the picture, and when I
right,
uploaded it to the site, it would help allegedly
yeah,
with SEO. Okay,
yep,
okay, that's a great tip. I wasn't aware of that.
yeah. I mean, things change all the time, but they usually change and they upgrade, and things become more. I don't know, more difficult. Okay, so when you see, sometimes if you go into other people's codes and you see, and you look in there under their pictures, I mean the the file for the photograph are like 37 letters long.
Hmm.
Well, that's because they're wanting you to read different things in there as far as the search engines to find it.
Okay.
Okay. And it's just a way, I mean, it's an extra step, but it's also an extra way to get a lot more visibility to your item.
Uh,
Uh,
that's right.
yeah, that's okay. The other thing is you want some consistency in how you present your photographs. In other words, the first photograph is always that picture that's straight on. All right, but maybe like for instance, on the sixth photograph, I usually put the nutritional information. So every six pictures will be the nutritional information on
Okay, so
all of
you're
my
you're keeping
on most of my listings. So there's some kind of continuity to it. Okay.
right.
Uh, you even want, if you can, you even want virtually your photographs to be like you set your camera up and all you have done was switch items to take the photographs. So they look identical from switching from one photo to the next.
So
Okay.
if they're in your store, they should identify that this is how this person takes pictures, and they all look similar.
Yeah.
Different layout, different right.
Okay.
Or
It's
maybe
like
you have
when
like
you
your angled picture, one angle it's every second picture, and then different angle the third picture, and like I said, straight on the first picture.
right. Like on I think it's, let's say, the fourth picture, I
Right.
have an actual close up of the individual item.
Okay.
So, like one granule of those granules in there will be blown up so you can really see it. Okay.
Okay.
And that will, let's say, be the fourth picture. And then the fifth picture is something else. And the sixth picture is the nutritional information. Uh, You can use lifestyle shots where you can put uh, props, but be
Right.
very careful of using props because, for instance, if you use Christmas props, what are you going to do in July?
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, and again, this just popped in my mind. It might not make any sense to you, but maybe if I had a microwave and a certain brand of microwave, and that showed in that picture, I mean, maybe I'm not licensed to include. I don't know. Is that something that could happen? Or a
I would
coffee maker,
say,
like have me have a Keurig coffee maker, and I'm taking a picture of the item next to Keurig coffee maker, and
well, I would say when you look at shows like the Food Network, they really don't have brands on the products that
okay,
are there. They had
gotcha,
just have what the item actually is. So
gotcha.
that's something to consider. But
Yeah,
also in the same vein, if you have a photograph there and you have a Panasonic microwave and Panasonic went out of business 10 years ago, you're really dating that product.
it's true.
So be careful what you put in, and even styles change. You know, there was a time when everybody had the gold and the green, emerald green kitchen appliances, and then that all went to
I
white, and then
I,
it
I have
went to
I have the
black.
pink tiles in my bathroom. That's like
That's right.
1960s.
You know, and the ones in the 50s, they weren't even ceramic; they were plastic.
Right.
So yeah, most bathrooms that are pink were in the 60s, and so that can also date your photographs.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely. Okay. Any other tips as far as photo taking? I mean, obviously, good lighting.
Yeah, I think it's good lighting. I think you want to take a lot of photographs because you want to use the best ones and get rid of the other ones. You don't want to have to go back and take them over and over again.
Now, when
Okay.
you take your pictures, again, you're using your smartphone. How do you do you save them? I would assume you take a lot of pictures, so you're probably not saving them to the app. Are you downloading them somehow into your computer and then uploading them that way?
Uh, I do it a little different than most people. I
Okay.
email them to myself,
Oh, okay. I've never done
and
that before.
and then I download them, and then I
So you have to save the
open them up.
pictures and you click off, like, check off each individual picture and you email them to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
That's
bunch
an
of
unusual way of doing
corrections
it. Okay.
that I like to make,
Right.
maybe that other people don't like to make. I like to change the lighting because the lighting has a lot to do with some people like darker lighting, some people like lighter lighting, and it's difficult because you can brighten or darken your screen. So for somebody to tell you that your product looks different, well, of course it does, because we all have abilities to change our screens. How many people buy a computer or a laptop and then color correct the monitor? Well, only people who do photography.
Right. And some
you know
people
they're
like dark mode, and I always put like a disclaimer in my description, the bottom of my description of my eBay listings. I put, something to the effect like, the pictures can vary from computer monitors, smartphones, etc. These pictures may look differently on your device as they are in person. Keep that in mind.
and I
I don't know
think
if that
that's
helps.
good. The only problem is they don't read it.
Well, yeah.
Now, I found out this week that how you word things are picked up differently by
By the
uh
SEO.
yeah, like for instance, no fat is not picked up, but fat free is.
Okay.
Now it's the same thing,
Right.
but it's just a matter of changing words. And
The fat
everybody's
free
gonna
is optimized in SEO, but no fat doesn't help.
right. Do not use capital letters.
Really?
Do not, yeah,
Well, not
do
not
not,
all caps. You can capitalize the first letter, though, right?
yeah, yeah.
But not
That
all caps.
you're supposed to do, but
Right, but not
all
all caps.
capital letters is a big no-no.
I heard that. Yep.
Writing free shipping, that's the first thing to get you out of Google search.
Okay.
That's a big no-no. There are actually, I have a couple of things here. Okay. They're called hyperbolic statements, such as, this is everybody's favorite brand.
Is that good or bad?
Okay, that's bad. Overpromising. Organic produce will save the environment. There's no proof of that.
Right.
Okay. Guarantees like, well, you'll lose 5 pounds after eating this. So
I wish. What's that? Sign me up.
symbols such as the copyright and trademark symbols, big no-no.
Okay.
Pricing information in the title or the image, big no-no.
Well, pricing can change, obviously, and like especially on Amazon and sites like that. Yep.
And plus, you can use all caps if the brand requires it. Okay, there are some things that are like Pez candy.
Oh, that's the way the brand name is.
PEZ, and that's the way the brand shows.
Gotcha.
That's correct. Okay, so there's, those are some things you have to be careful. I see a lot of people in eBay with free shipping, freshest around, all kinds of goofy things. All right. And maybe that helps on eBay, but it certainly doesn't as a whole on most of the other sites, including sites like Pinterest.
Right.
Your things are not going to show up.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's some tips that basically you want to cut down on the amount of words. Okay, these are some things that were written down. Our truck delivers daily, and our dairy products are always fresh. Okay, that's a nice statement. But doesn't this sound better? Daily delivery means always fresh.
Yes. More to the point. Yep.
Right. You're only going to read so much.
True. And people have short attention spans, especially with TikTok and all the stuff that's going on these days.
Hey, do you ever go by a billboard and they have like 340 words on it? And you're like,
how are you supposed to read that? Driving by, you get an accident.
Yeah. Or another one says, today. Well, you know what? You're going to remember that billboard.
Right.
So let your pictures do the talking.
Exactly.
Don't take slang pictures. Okay. Speaking of benefits, okay, like friend, here's a statement. We get fresh organic produce delivered daily. That's not a benefit. That's just a statement.
Yeah, it's just a statement. Yeah.
Okay. Our daily produce deliveries means fresh taste to you.
That's a benefit to the consumer.
Right. Our eggs are delivered daily. We get our eggs fresh every day.
Right.
Okay. There is being active instead of being passive.
Craig is saying that eBay buyers only look at one pick, title, and price, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, certainly, I don't think they move past 6. Some people look at more than one photograph.
Yeah.
But you know what? We all try to make the easy way.
Yep. And obviously, you don't want to have bad pictures. Your first few, if they're going to look for like the first 2 or 3 pictures, you want to make sure those first 3 pictures are your best pictures. You don't want to have, like you were showing earlier, you don't want to have like pictures out of focus or with different things that aren't supposed to be in a picture. Make sure you do use the remove background tool or whatever.
Yeah. Now, I don't follow all my own rules.
Right.
Okay. Like for instance, I don't take 6 photographs of remote controls.
Right.
I mean, pretty much if you can see the front and the back, what more do you need? Do you really need a side view of a remote control?
I open up the inside of it,
or a close up. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I guess I could put 6 in there, but you know what? Do I really want to do that for an item that I'm making $3 on?
No.
Okay, and it's a one-time sale.
Value every time is money. Yep.
Maybe if I have 1,000 of them,
well, maybe take 7 or 8 pictures and make sure that the first 3 or 4 are good.
But primarily, I mean, if you're selling things that are less expensive, and I think you could sell almost anything. Okay, you just got to have the right price, the right buyer.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, there's some pretty detestable food out there, but there's nice photographs for everything that's even detestable.
That's true.
Okay. And people will still eat it. Have you ever eaten a quarter pounder that looks like what's up on the menu?
No. And just as a heads up, as an aside, and I shouldn't be eating fast food, and a lot of people shouldn't be eating fast food, but apparently the new Burger King, the melts are pretty terrible. Not terrible, but they're like half the size of the normal Whoppers. So that's the latest on social media. Oh, don't buy these new BK melts.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to bring up, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is you should repeat the name that you have in the title in your description.
I always do that. Yep, that's a great tip.
Okay. I mean, word for word.
Yep, absolutely.
Put some.
Apparently, your dog agrees with that, Randy.
Yeah. Well, my dog sees a fly, and she doesn't
okay.
She doesn't like insects.
Okay.
She's an insect hater.
Okay.
But you know what? Those are some good rules to think about. I mean,
absolutely.
look at your listings. Look over at them. Are they actually speaking to you, or are they just kind of, well, I need to get through this? And I would say, you know what? The stuff you hate to list it first and get it out of the way. Because
Craig, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that, Randy, but Craig says the first line of his description is always his exact title, and then he copies and pastes. I do that on eBay, and I do that on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think it's one of the top items for search.
Absolutely.
I mean, search and selling an item online really has two things. It has a title, it has pictures, and it has a copy. Okay. And if you don't get those right, even if you have the price right, you may not sell it.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I talk about, experience with different sellers and friends or whatever. I have a friend of mine that actually looks, and again, there's a way of doing this. I know back in the day, people used to try this on auctions. They would punch something in like a name and punch it in, like incorrectly spell it on the auction tool, and it would come up like, say like, I don't know, I don't even know what brand I'm like, maybe Coach or whatever, something higher end. And if it's misspelled, and then people would misspell it in their listing or misspell it in their auction, and then they were started out low and they wouldn't get that many bids because they misspelled it, because people weren't being drawn to that listing because they misspelled the item. So again, if you misspell something when you do a search, it's not going to come up more than normally. It's not going to come up in the search.
Yeah, I use a program for spelling and for grammar.
Right.
And I found out how atrocious my spelling and grammar actually is, because it continually corrects me. And it's a free, I don't even remember what the program name is, but it's a pretty popular one. And it's just
Grammarly or something.
Yeah, I think it's Grammarly actually. Because I do a lot of typing and listing at 4:00 in the morning in the dark, and I'm not the best typist, so sometimes I'm hitting keys that are the wrong keys, and things get all goofy.
That's a pro tip too. And I noticed, like, even stuff, even like when I'm doing something for YouTube, sometimes I'm doing early morning or late at night, or when I'm not feeling well, and then I make an error, and if I don't go back and double check, it's like, oh man, I got a typo. I copied and pasted this incorrectly. Again, guys, always preview your with your listings. Always preview them. Make sure there's no typos. Make sure you're, like we said, we're listing the item description, the title, I should say, and the description. Make sure there's no typos. Again, Randy's saying don't put all caps, which is absolutely correct. Make sure, especially your first picture is your best picture. And like I said, Randy says keep them consistent throughout your store. Have like a pattern of how you post your pictures. Just going to mention Craig's comment here. I used to get great deals on laptops when I was purchasing them to pour down on eBay. You would be amazed at the number of I got that were listed as laptop. And laptop instead of laptop. Perfect example, Craig. Yep, absolutely. And you can use that for anything. I mean, if you're sourcing on, not that Craigslist is a big deal anymore, but Facebook Marketplace or whatever, type in something incorrectly, type it in on eBay, type it on whatever. And there are people that do that on a regular basis. They buy stuff on one platform and they flip on another. I mean, and you can even do it like, eBay to eBay. Buy something and maybe the person has crappy pictures or a crappy description. You go back, you take good pictures, good description, price it competitively, and you can still make a profit.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that have things up for sale.
For sale instead of sale. Okay.
I mean, here's another tip for you. I'll give you. Uh, I had a product, and I think the one product I sell for me is it tastes hideous. It's really awful. But you know what? I found that 70% of my buyers were Spanish. So
Of that item or in general?
Of the item.
Mm-hmm.
I put the title up in Spanish and I sell 30% more.
About that.
Now, there's two lessons with that. One, you don't have to like everything you sell.
No.
And two, you know what? The Spanish population is growing.
Absolutely.
And if you can make it easier for them. So I have some of my titles up in English and Spanish.
Right. Yep.
Absolutely. And believe me, it's a game changer. You just need to make sure that you are putting up the right word. Because Chevy made a mistake when they built the Nova, because in Spanish, Nova means doesn't run.
Doesn't run. Okay. Nova was around for a pretty long time, though.
Not in South America.
No, I guess not in South America, no. Guys, are there any questions for Randy? While I have them on, you can pop them in the chat. We're kind of winding down here. The chat's kind of popping out, but anyway, I appreciate those of you that did come and watching the replay. And I always do my little closing here. If you guys are getting enjoyment out of the channel and getting value from it, please consider helping me offset some of my costs. I would greatly appreciate it. I have to purchase equipment, pay for subscriptions, and of course, anything else. There's time and effort involved to bring you good educational content so you can grow your business. Buy Me Coffee, PayPal, and Cash App. And with my guest Randy here, I also have a link to Randy's website, facing.com, in the description, where you can buy coffee, tea, and spices, as well as old-fashioned candy from Randy. And Randy is kind enough to pay me a little commission on that, no cost to you guys. Just put in AE when you register on the site next to your name. Again, time is your most valuable asset. I'd like to thank Randy for his time, and also those of you that are here for the live and watching the replay. And please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, turn notifications on, etc., etc. I don't see any other comments, guys. So again, I want to thank you all for being here. I do have a guest scheduled in 2 weeks. I'm working on getting another guest for next week. Again, guys, those of you that are left in the chat, I'm always looking for resellers to come on and join me. I know sometimes it's not convenient for you, but if you know other resellers or you're interested in coming on the channel, I'd appreciate it. All my social media is listed in the description below, and you can contact me, and I would love to have you on, and we can talk reselling. Okay, guys, so we will be back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you that celebrate, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. See you next week.